My brother got married and everyone was invited except me. My MOM simply said, "We didn't think you would be welcomed in his new family." So I canceled the $14,000 I contributed each year for their mortgage. This morning, I received his desperate call, and I haven't answered. My name is Luis. I'm 34, and for most of my life, I've felt like my existence is a favor I'm doing for the world. I'm not being dramatic. It's just how things have been. My parents, my younger brother Liam, even some uncles and cousins, have always had a way of making me feel like I'm extraneous. But despite that, I was always there for them. We grew up in a quiet Ohio neighborhood, in a house that looked like it came straight out of a 90s family movie. My dad, Richard, worked as a manager at an auto parts factory, and my mom, Linda, was a nurse. Liam, for years younger than me, was the golden child from the start. Everyone talked about how special he was. Charismatic, athletic, with a smile that could convince anyone of anything. I, on the other hand, was a quiet one, reading books in the corner while Liam played football with his friends, the one who got good grades but never got a pat on the back for it. Luis is reliable, my mom would say. Liam is brilliant, my dad would say. And that's how I grew up, reliable but never brilliant. When I finished high school, I went to a state university to study engineering. It wasn't the best school, but it was what we could afford. I worked night shifts at a gas station to cover expenses and still sent money home each month to help with bills. Liam, meanwhile, got a scholarship to a private university thanks to his football skills. My parents couldn't stop talking about how proud they were of him. I didn't expect applause, but a thanks Luis now and then wouldn't have hurt. After graduating, I landed a decent job as a software engineer at a tech company in Columbus. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid well. Over time, I started earning enough to live comfortably, and as always, I kept helping my family. When Liam graduated, he decided he wanted to be an entrepreneur. He had big ideas, but no experience. My parents supported him without hesitation, and me? Well, I became his safety net. When Liam and his girlfriend Sarah bought a house that was clearly beyond their budget, I started sending $1,200 a month to help with their mortgage. "It's temporary," Liam told me, "just until my business takes off." That was 5 years ago. I never asked for anything in return, not a thank you, not recognition. I just wanted my brother to be okay, for my parents not to worry. I thought that's what family did. Be there no matter what. But everything changed a month ago. It was a Friday night, and I was checking emails in my apartment when I got a message from my cousin Emily. It was a photo of her in a fancy dress with a caption that read, "Ready for the wedding of the year." I stared at the screen, confused. Wedding? What wedding? Emily and I weren't particularly close. I always liked her. I thought maybe it was her wedding, but something didn't add up. I called my mom to ask. "Hey, Mom," I said, trying to sound casual. "Emily posted something about a wedding. Is it hers or what's going on?" There was an awkward silence on the other end of the line. Then my mom spoke, with that tone she used when she wanted to dodge a topic. "No, it's not Emily's. It's Liam's." My stomach dropped. Liam was getting married? When? "He got married today," she said, as if she were talking about the weather. It was something small, just close family and Sarah's parents. I sat there in silence, trying to process what I just heard. Liam got married today, and I had no idea. No one had told me anything. Not an invitation, not a text, not a call. Nothing. Why wasn't I invited? I asked, my voice trembling a bit, though I tried to keep it steady. Another silence. Then my mom dropped the bomb, with a tone that sounded almost annoyed, like I should have known. "Look, Luis, we didn't invite you because, frankly, you don't fit in. Sarah's parents are classy people, and well, you're weird. You always have been. We didn't want you making everyone uncomfortable with your quiet attitude and your strange things. They wanted a perfect wedding, and you weren't going to help with that." Her words hit me like a bucket of cold water. Weird. Didn't fit in. My strange things. For years, I've been the one there for everyone, paying bills when they came up short, listening to Liam complain about his problems, never asking for anything in return. And now I was a burden, someone who could ruin the perfect wedding just by existing. So I'm an embarrassment to you? I asked, my voice breaking. It's not that, Luis, she said, but her tone was cold. We just wanted everything to go well. Don't take it personally. Don't take it personally? How was I not supposed to take it personally? I hung up without saying another word. I stared at the wall of my apartment, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I just felt an emptiness I couldn't explain. That night, I didn't sleep. I stayed up thinking about everything I'd done for my family. The $14,000 a year I sent for Liam's mortgage, the times I stayed quiet when my parents compared my achievements to like mine didn't matter, the Christmases when I was the one buying gifts for everyone while Liam showed up with a smile and a funny story that stole all the attention. And now this, excluded from my brother's wedding because I was weird and didn't fit the image they want to project. The next morning, I made a decision. I logged into my bank account and canceled the automatic transfer I sent to Liam every month. It wasn't an impulse. It was something I felt I had to do, not because I wanted to punish anyone, but because, for the first time in my life, I wanted to put myself first. If I wasn't good enough to be at his wedding, I wasn't going to keep being his ATM either. The days that followed, I tried to stick to my routine, work, gym, home, but I couldn't shake what had happened. I felt betrayed, but at the same time, I felt a strange sense of freedom. For the first time, I wasn't running after my family, trying to prove I was worth something. I was just being me. A week later, my phone rang. It was Liam. I didn't answer, not because I was angry, but because I didn't know what to say. He left a voicemail, his tone one I'd never heard before, desperate. Luis, it's me. Look, I need to talk to you. It's about the house. Please call me. I listened to the message and deleted it. I didn't feel satisfaction or joy, just that, for the first time, I was taking control of my own story. But I knew this wasn't over. My family wasn't the type to give up easily, especially when it came to money. The days that followed were a whirlwind. My phone wouldn't stop ringing. Liam left increasingly frantic messages, his voice swinging between pleading and frustration. My mom, true to form, mixed guilt with demands in every call. Even my dad, who usually stayed out of family drama, sent me a curt text. Luis, this is serious. Call. I didn't respond to anyone. It wasn't about pride or wanting to punish them. It was just that, for the first time, I didn't feel the urge to run and put out their fires. It was like I'd opened a door that had always been locked, and though I didn't know where it led, I didn't want to go back. On Monday morning, while drinking coffee in my kitchen, I got a bank notification. The automatic transfer to Liam had been officially canceled. The $1,200 a month no longer left my account. I looked at the balance on the screen and, for a moment, let myself imagine what I could do with that money. A trip somewhere I'd never been, a course to learn something new, maybe photography or cooking, or just saving it for something that actually mattered to me. It was a strange, almost selfish feeling, but I couldn't deny it felt liberating. That afternoon at the office, while reviewing code for a project, my phone buzzed with an email from Liam. Please, Luis, read this. I sighed and opened it, more out of curiosity than any intention of giving in. Luis, it began, I don't know what's wrong with you, but this isn't fair. Sarah and I are in a mess because of your decision. The mortgage doesn't pay itself, and you know my business isn't making enough yet. You've always been the responsible one, the one who helps us. Why are you doing this to us now? Mom and Dad are worried, and I don't know what to tell them. Please call me. We can fix this. I stared at the words, feeling a pang of anger. Not fair? Really? For years, I'd been their financial lifeline, and now that I'd set a boundary, I was a bad guy? I didn't respond. I archived the email and went back to my work, though my mind was elsewhere. My mom's words kept echoing. You're weird. You always have been. Every time I remembered them, I felt a knot in my stomach. What was so weird about me? That I wasn't the life of the party like Liam? That I preferred a book to empty conversation? That I didn't fit in with the classy people my family wanted to impress? That night, I went for a walk around the neighborhood. Columbus in the fall has a special charm. The crunch of dry leaves underfoot, the crisp air that clears your head. I walked through the park near my apartment, trying to sort out my thoughts. I'd always been the one to say, it's fine, even when it wasn't. But now, something had changed. I didn't want to keep being the invisible brother, the one who only existed to pay bills. I wanted to be seen, to be respected, not just as a resource, but as a person. When I got home, I found another text from Liam. Luis, Mom says you're being selfish. This isn't just about me. It's about family. Don't make this harder. Selfish. That word made me laugh, but in a bitter way. Selfish for wanting a bit of dignity? I deleted the message and turned off my phone. That night, I slept better than I had in weeks, like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. On Saturday morning, while grocery shopping, my mom called. I hesitated, but answered. Part of me still hoped for an apology, some acknowledgement for leaving me out of Liam's wedding. Luis, what's wrong with you? She started, without even hello. Liam told me about the money. How could you do something like that? Your brother is struggling to keep his house, and you decide to leave him on the street? Is that what you want? I tried to stay calm. Mom, I don't want to leave anyone on the street, but I'm also not going to keep being the one who gives everything and gets nothing. You didn't invite me to Liam's wedding. You told me I didn't fit in, that I was weird. And now you expect me to keep paying like nothing happened. There was a silence, but it didn't last. Luis, stop talking nonsense, she said, her tone sounding more like an order. Liam has a bright future. His business is about to take off. And Sarah is a wonderful girl. They need our support. You've always been the responsible one, the one who does the right thing. Don't make this harder. I gripped the phone tightly. Nonsense? I've given everything to this family. Everything. And all I get is being told I don't fit in. I'm not going to keep being Liam's bank. If he needs money, he can find another solution. Another solution? She practically shouted. Luis, you don't understand. Liam is the one who's going to go far. You have your job, your stable life. He needs this push. Don't be selfish. That word again, selfish. I hung up without saying anything else. I stood in the grocery store aisle, my cart full of things I no longer wanted. People passed by, but I felt alone. For the first time, I saw clearly that my family didn't consider me an equal. To them, I was a tool, someone who existed to make their lives easier, but never to be part of it. At home, I sat on the couch, trying to process the conversation. Part of me wanted to give in, to send the money to avoid conflict. But a stronger part told me I'd had enough. I deserved more. I couldn't keep living in Liam's shadow. The change came at the gym, running on the treadmill, when I got a call from an unknown number. I thought about ignoring it, but something made me answer. It was Sarah, Liam's wife. Luis, she said, her voice nervous but firm. I need to talk to you. I don't want to get in the middle of your issues with Liam, but this is affecting us all. Can we meet? I hesitated. Sarah and I had barely spoken before. I'd seen her at a couple of family gatherings, always polite but distant. I wasn't sure I wanted to face her, but her tone seemed different, like she genuinely wanted to talk, not just manipulate me. Okay, I said, at the cafe near my apartment, tomorrow at 3. Thanks, Luis, she replied and hung up. When I hung up, I felt a mix of curiosity and anxiety. What did Sarah want? Was she going to ask me to start paying again, or was there something else? I had no idea what was coming, but I knew that meeting would change things. On Monday morning, I woke up with a knot in my stomach. Not just because of the meeting with Sarah, but because of everything that had happened in the past few weeks. I felt trapped between anger and the need to close this chapter. I showered, put on a clean shirt, and headed to the cafe near my apartment. It was a small place with brick walls and the comforting smell of freshly brewed coffee. I arrived 10 minutes early and ordered a latte, sitting by the window. As I waited, I watched people pass by, families, students, couples, all seeming to have a place in the world while I was still searching for mine. Sarah arrived on time, wearing a light jacket and a nervous smile. She sat across from me and ordered a tea. Thanks for coming, Luis, she said, looking at the table like she didn't know where to start. "No problem," I replied, trying to sound calm. "What's going on?" She took a deep breath. "I know things are tense between you and Liam and with your mom. I don't want to meddle where I'm not wanted, but I need you to understand what's happening. Liam is desperate. I didn't realize how much they depended on your help until you canceled the money, and he's not handling it well." I nodded but stayed quiet, wanted to hear everything before speaking. Sarah continued, now looking me in the eyes. "I'm not here to ask you to start paying again. I just want you to make peace with Liam. Not for the money, but because you're family. I know they didn't invite you to the wedding, and I know that hurt you. I didn't agree with that decision, but Liam's parents and mine insisted it be something small, and your mom thought it was better not to include you. That surprised me. You didn't agree?" I asked. "No," she said firmly. "I told Liam it was a mistake, but he was so busy trying to please everyone that he didn't listen to me. And your mom said you wouldn't feel comfortable, that you were different. I don't know how to say it without it sounding bad, but I think it was an excuse." I felt a small relief knowing someone had questioned the decision, but the anger was still there. An excuse? They call me weird, Sarah. They said I didn't fit in with your family, that I'd ruin the perfect wedding. How am I supposed to feel? She looked down, uncomfortable. "I know, and I'm sorry. It shouldn't have been like that. Liam and your mom thought they were doing the right thing, but it was a mistake. I just want you to know that not everyone thinks of you that way." Her words seemed sincere, but they didn't erase the pain. "Thanks for saying that," I replied. "But it doesn't change what they did. For years, I've been the one there for everyone. Paying, helping, listening. And when it's time to include me, they leave me out because I don't fit their image. I'm not going to keep being their ATM." Sarah nodded slowly. "I understand. I don't blame you." The conversation ended soon after. Sarah didn't push me to start paying again, which I appreciated. We said goodbye with an awkward handshake, and I stayed at the cafe a bit longer, thinking. For the first time, someone in the family had acknowledged my worth, even if indirectly, but it wasn't enough to heal the wound. The days that followed were a waiting game. Liam kept sending increasingly desperate messages. My mom called, repeating the same reproaches, and that word I was starting to hate. Selfish. My dad stayed silent after his first message. I wanted to confront them, to make them see how I felt. But another part of me was tired of fighting for a place in my own family. A week later, I got an email from Liam's bank. They'd received a partial mortgage payment, but it wasn't my money. I wondered if Liam had found a solution, or if my parents had stepped in. Curiosity got the better of me, so I called Emily, my cousin who always knew the family gossip. "Hey, Emily," I said when she answered. "Do you know anything about what's going on with Liam in the house?" She sighed. "Yeah, it's a mess. Liam borrowed money from my parents to cover the mortgage this month. I don't know how he's going to pay it back because his business isn't going anywhere. Your mom is furious with you. She says you abandoned them." "Abandoned them?" I repeated, incredulous. "Emily, they didn't invite me to my brother's wedding. They called me weird, and now I'm the one who abandoned them." "I know, Luis," she said, her tone sincere. "It was a stupid thing they did. I told them to invite you, but your mom and Sarah's parents insisted you weren't. I don't know, suitable. It's ridiculous. You've always been the one keeping this family afloat." Hearing that from Emily surprised me. I always thought she, like everyone else, saw Liam as a star. "Thanks," I said, "but I'm not going to start paying again. I've given enough." "I don't blame you," she replied. "And if it's worth anything, I think you did the right thing by setting a boundary. Maybe this way they'll learn to value you." After hanging up, I felt a little lighter. It wasn't much, but knowing someone understood my position gave me peace. I decided it was time to focus on myself. I signed up for a photography course I'd always wanted to take. I started going out more with friends from work, people who seemed interested in getting to know me. I even began planning a trip to Colorado, something I'd always wanted to do, but never allowed myself because I was too busy helping my family. A month later, I got one last call from Liam. This time, I answered. I don't know why. Maybe because I felt I needed to close this chapter. "Luis," he said, his voice tired, I'm not going to ask you to start paying again. I just want to say I'm sorry. We shouldn't have left you out of the wedding. It was a mistake. Mom and Sarah's parents pressured us, but I should have fought for you. His words surprised me. For the first time, Liam sounded sincere, not trying to manipulate me, but the damage was done. Thanks for saying that, Liam. I replied, but what happened doesn't go away with an apology. I've given everything to this family, and all I got was being told I didn't fit in. I need space. Maybe someday we can talk, but not now. He was silent. I understand, he said finally. I hope we can fix this someday. I hung up. I felt guilt, but I also felt like I was building a life that was mine. My family could continue with their drama, their expectations, their perfect images, but I wasn't going to be part of it anymore. I wasn't the invisible brother. I was Luis, and that was enough. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments, and subscribe for more daily stories.